Hello, and welcome to this tutorial where you'll be learning how to utilize leverage from in-place property contracts to explode your profits on many of your next deals. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you little-known techniques used by banks, asset managers, and mortgage lenders with large portfolios of properties that they have to manage and reduce cost on. And it's in this video that you're going to learn those secrets and apply them to your own real estate deals. As we move forward, there's a concept that I want you to keep in mind, and that concept is that your home is a form of storage of value. And so the methods that I'm going to reveal to you is going to involve the value in that home, which means that the money that will increase your profit margin is locked in your target property. That's right. The money that you're trying to get to use for your next deal is actually represented as a form of value in the target property that you are trying to acquire. So we'll start with a brief explanation of some of the types of values that are in an actual property. And we're going to start with the market value, or the value that other people are willing to pay for it if you were to sell your home or property on the open market. The next form of value that I like to clearly identify, and keep in mind that all of these forms of value I like to keep separate, although they often work in conjunction with each other and they're often considered as being part of the same concept. For instance, if you look at mortgage and interest, most people would not separate mortgage and interest, but I separate it for a particular reason, because I want you to get a clear understanding that these all represent different forms or mechanisms of value in your home or in your target property. So once again, we have your mortgage value. Now, your mortgage value obviously is the price that you paid, or the loan that you took out for the price that you paid for your property. And of course, next we have the interest, which is closely connected to that mortgage. However, the interest is the amount you actually paid. It's the premium that you paid for borrowing that money or borrowing that value to get your home or property, which represents in itself a different form of value, a different mechanism of value. Then there's a form of value that is represented by taxes. And I like to separate taxes and identify taxes as a form of value because there's a certain amount of societal value, or there's a societal cost of real estate invested in a home. And this is where you get the allowances and protections of your local, state, and federal government and the community that you live in. And so I identify that as a separate form of value in a home. Another form of value that's invested in a home that people don't often consider a form of value is insurance. Now, your insurance involves protecting your property from mainly financial loss, and that loss could be direct loss, or it could be loss in terms of liability that you might be responsible for from home ownership. And so insurance also represents an important form of value that's in your home. Finally, we consider upkeep and maintenance. And of course, upkeep and maintenance is the value that's put in your home to keep your home from deteriorating over time and keep it in generally good condition, and also to keep it safe for you to be in and for any persons who come onto your property. And so it's these 6 values that are important to understand in order to get a clear idea of the mechanism behind the method that's going to actually get you the money. It's further necessary to break these 6 values down into 2 general categories, which I identify as extractable and non-extractable value. The non-extractable values in a home include values such as the mortgage, the interest, the taxes, and maintenance and upkeep. All of these particular values in the non-extractable column represent a sunk cost in a home. In other words, you cannot get your mortgage money back or the interest that you paid on the loan back, because the mortgage represents a base cost, and this is the cost of the property that any person who acquires the property is going to have to pay. And the interest, of course, is a charge that you're paying for a service, and there's just no way for you to recover that from the people that you've borrowed the money from. Of course, taxes, I don't know anybody who've ever recovered money from taxes, except for in certain circumstances where people are able to actually get deductions for taxes on certain items during their filings. But in general, taxes represent a sunk cost or a cost that's going to be non-recoverable or not easily recoverable. And of course, maintenance and upkeep are monies put into a home that is necessary to basically fight off time damage, or what's known as depreciation, due to wear and tear. This represents the non-extractable value in a given property. However, we're concerned about the extractable values in a property, which consist of two main types of value, one of which being the positive market value, or the value that represents the difference between the market price if the market increased from your purchase price, which includes the mortgage and the interest. And so that first positive market value is a form of extractable value in your house. Next, and the one that we want to focus on the most, is the insurance value. Of course, insurance being the protection of your property from loss due to damage or liability. But it's in this particular extractable value that you will find the money needed to increase your profits. Now, insurance has some very special characteristics about it, the most important of which being that it is unique from other financial aspects of property ownership because a policyholder will only receive value from an insurance contract if coverage for that policy is activated. This is unlike other financial considerations for a property that usually adds value more directly or indirectly in some cases. It's worth mentioning that insurance, or the concept of insurance, is to indemnify. And indemnity simply means that insurance is there to repair damages and bring property back to the condition that it was in before the damage occurred. This is a very important concept to keep in mind, as remembering it will provide the legal protection necessary to continue to use the method of leveraging this in-place property contract. With that in mind, insurance creates an opportunity because the value from insurance is not locked in the property. Instead, it's locked in a promise to pay for agreed coverages according to the contract. Also, one important note is that unless otherwise specified in your insurance agreement, insurance companies are obligated to pay monies for property damage that is covered by that policy language. At this point, you may be saying to yourself, what do I need to do to get an extra $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 on my future real estate deals? First, you'll need to find an investment property similar to what you normally do. So whatever method you use to identify properties that you're interested in buying, use that method. Next, you'll need to get your target property evaluated. I'm offering these special property evaluations at no cost to you. You simply contact me, and me or someone within my network will go and do a property evaluation at the properties of your choice, once again at no cost to you. If we identify your property as a potential deal, you simply make the decision to allow us to move forward and let the Rourke's network of property professionals go to work and extract the value for your deal. One thing I want to mention is that this method of increasing the value of your real estate deal is very hands-off and worry-free for the investor. Basically, you contact us and we'll do most of the work for you. This is part of the secret of smart institutional investors. Not only have smart institutional real estate professionals have been leveraging insurance claims for decades, but more importantly, they've been getting someone else to do the dirty work for them. Banks, mortgage lenders, asset managers, and other industry professionals who manage large portfolios of property use risk managers to extract value from in-place insurance policies to increase the value of their holdings. Here's how it works. Banks, mortgage companies, and lending institutions hold large amounts of properties in their portfolios, usually resulting from foreclosures. Portfolio managers and asset managers are faced with the problem of keeping a property in good repair while reducing the holding cost of maintaining the properties until they are able to sell those assets off their books. These managers use hazard claim specialty companies to evaluate property damage and maintenance and file insurance claims on the bank's behalf. The proceeds from these insurance claims are then given to preservation specialists who in turn use the money to make necessary repairs on the property and maintain the condition of the property until a given property can be sold. This method often increases the appraised value of a property dramatically. The value of the real estate increases, but the cost of increasing that value is transferred to the insurance company, who are contractually obligated to pay what's covered under the policy. And to reiterate, most insurance contracts obligate insurance companies to pay monies in the form of a check, which means as a person who has control of a property, you have the ability to manage the financing of the improvements on the property. This means that now you can use the same secrets the banks and asset managers have been using for years to increase the value of many of your deals. The average claim against insurance companies for covered property loss usually runs between $10,000 to $30,000. This average is by no means a maximum, as insurance claims can go as high as the property damage and the coverage described in the policy. Keep in mind, this technique will not apply to every deal that you have, but it will increase your profits by $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 on many of your next deals. Stop throwing away tens of thousands of dollars in your real estate deals. To get started with free evaluations of your current target properties, click on the link below this presentation. Remember, the offer is risk-free for you, the investor. You will have no out-of-pocket cost, and as an investor, your funds are never at risk. This method is repeatable so that you can use it for every property that qualifies in your investment activity. Also, you don't have to worry about competition or market saturation. Everyone can use this service in their deals. To get started or to receive more information about this amazing new method of real estate investing, go to www.rorxpa.com/solutions. That's www.rorxpa.com/solutions, or click on the link in this video. Keep in mind that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The process of recovering the funds can be complex and difficult to maneuver. This is why you need a professional to navigate this complicated process on your behalf so that you can explode your profits worry-free and stress-free. Thank you for viewing this presentation, and I look forward to helping you increase your profits soon.